Hernandez vs. Pereira. Analysis of the main fight of UFC Vegas 99. On October 20th, the UFC Vegas 99 tournament will be held in Las Vegas, USA. The main event of the event will be the fight between Anthony Hernandez and Michel Pereira. An American and a Brazilian will fight within the middleweight category. We invite you to analyze the participants of the upcoming match with us and find out what to expect from their meeting in the octagon. Anthony Hernandez, Elite Jiu-Jitsu. In his last fight, held in February of this year at the UFC 198 tournament, Anthony got the better of Russian Roman Kopylov with a painful reception. And this is not surprising, because Hernandez has a knowledge of jiu-jitsu at the elite level. He won most of the victories with submissives 66. According to StatsFight, Anthony makes an average of 3.36 attempts at painful techniques for 15 minutes. In 2020, after losing to Kevin Hartland, many stopped paying attention to the 30-year-old fighter. But since then, the American has not lost a game. He is on a 5-win streak and is one step away from getting into the top 10 of the division. Michel Pereira is a bright knockout. Pereira is ranked 14th in the UFC middleweight category. The Brazilian has picked up some crazy pace. He is currently on a win streak of 8 fights. Michel finished the last 3 fights ahead of schedule. Like his opponent, Pereira has been unbeaten for 4 years in a row. In the previous fight, held in May at the UFC 301 tournament, the South American made a successful submission against Pereira. The Brazilian can be considered a universal fighter, but still, he stands out for his striking and power. 31-year-old Pereira managed to knock out 11 opponents during his career. According to StatsFight, Michel throws 13.77 strikes per minute in her fights, hitting the target with an average of 6.33 of them. Fighters' game plans. Let's not dissemble. Michel Pereira and Anthony Hernandez are not the biggest figures by UFC standards. But don't forget, it's the styles that make the fights. Given that both fighters, as a rule, show spectacular fights, their upcoming meeting in the octagon attracts great interest. How will Hernandez fight? Anthony is certainly not going to bite and will immediately lay down for a takedown. Constant pressure and transfers to the ground are the main task of an American in battle. He is better than Pereira on the ground and has a wide range of skills to beat the Brazilian. As for Pereira, he needs to keep the fight against Anthony in the distance. His arsenal is based on an explosion. But the main feature of the Brazilian is diversity. In one attack, he can throw out a knee, punch a high kick, and connect a hook. Michel is extremely dangerous for rapprochement. Therefore, his task in the fight with Hernandez is to constantly work as the first number and shorten the distance in order to find a knockout strike. Hernandez and Pereira's StatsFight rating. Whose is higher? According to StatsFight rating, Michel Pereira is a more high-class MMA fighter than Anthony Hernandez. His skills and experience are rated 85. The American has a rating of 76. What's next for the winner of the Hernandez-Pereira pair? The UFC middle division can be considered one of the most competitive in the Dana White League. Therefore, it is extremely difficult to get into the championship race here. So the winner of the Hernandez-Pereira fight is not waiting for something supernatural. It is unlikely that any of the guys, if they win, will get a duel with a fighter from the top 5. But you can pick up a conditional Roman Dolidze or Jared Cannonier.